Giants gave the same amount of money that they was going to give Saquon to Darius Slay. Yep, we're sure moving on up. We're sure moving on up. A receiver who hasn't hit 1,000 yards since the day that we drafted him. I think the highest he had was about like 700 yards last year or 3 years ago. But the fact that we gave him that much money for 3 more years. Now, a lot of Giants fans might look at it as, oh my God, what are we doing? You know? Or you could look at it as if he's a contributor to a Super Bowl team. Like, let's say, hypothetically, we are better than we were last year. And him, Wandell, Hyatt, Neighbors, if he could be that fourth best option, then that contract is going to be forgotten. But if we stink it up and he doesn't perform up to the level that we all think he should perform at, which is basically never, because even when we drafted him, he didn't really show any promise. He didn't really show, yeah, we have something here, or we could build, something around this guy. No. Like, this dude hasn't cracked 1,000 yards since we drafted him. He's been the longest tender, or I think second longest tender behind Sterling Shepard. But all I can say is we're not trying to win. Like, we're making all these moves, but in the back of my mind, we're going to be in this position again next year. And it's not really poo-pooing on the New York Giants. I want the Giants to do this, but if you continue to make moves like this, it's like you're just asking for it. Like, you want the fan base to be calm, cool, collective, knowing that we're not a fan base like the Miami Dolphins, or we're not a fan base like these other teams. We are categorized as hardcore fans. Like we want things done now. We can't wait 2 years, 3 years down the line. We want things now. We want results now. That's what the media is picturing us as, redundant fans. Fans that want everything done their way. Like, how many times do we have to wait for Aaron Rodgers to make a decision? Like, effing make a decision already. Like, who the hell cares? Is that you pick the Steelers or us? Is either those two teams? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you pick the Steelers, okay, good. That's great. We could get Russell Wilson. And if Russell Wilson doesn't want to come here, then I don't know, we could get Dorsett. And then we can draft a quarterback at 3 or move the pick at number 1. Because we all know the Titans are not going to pick a quarterback. The last quarterback they picked was not good at all. And that's Vince Young, obviously. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know, though. Y'all let me know. Is this a must-win for the New York Giants this year? Because imagine the Giants going another 3-13 season. They could be in the same position again like they were last year, or even worse. They might probably win one game this year. But you don't want to dwell on the negative. You want to focus on the positives. You know what I'm saying? But this, like the NFL is built around the quarterback, and the offensive line, obviously. If you don't have those two pieces, then your team is always going to be a sitting duck. I don't care how good your defense is. If you don't have what we need on the offensive side, your team is going to struggle defensively. Because think about it this way: like 2016, our offense was putrid. Even when we had Sterling Shepard, Odell, Victor Cruz, we couldn't score to save our lives. Yeah, we scored here and there, but it wasn't consistent enough. Even when Victor Cruz went down, we were still losing. That's not until the Giants went into their bag and spent a lot of money to fix the defense. Obviously, we won a lot of games with that defense. So I'll piggyback on that. We may not be good offensively, but we're going to be very good defensively this year because of the pieces that we made in the off-season, free agency. We're going to be better than we were last year defensively. Which I'm not saying that we were bad defensively. Actually, we were pretty good at stopping the run. We were first in sacks last year, which is crazy. Like, we were first in sacks last year. We were not good at stopping the run. Or no, we were not good at stopping the pass. But we were good at stopping the run. And we led the league in sacks, which is crazy. For us being a 20, where we were, I think we were ranked like 27th or 28th on defense. For us being that, for us being mediocre on defense, we should have our own, and the Giants were never bad on defense. Even, Tom Coughlin era, Bill Parcells era, we were never bad on defense. Our whole team was always built on defense. The Giants have always been a defensive team. That's what a lot of people fail to understand. That's why we can't score like these other teams can. Like, we'll do it once in a blue moon, but we won't do it consistently because that's not our MO. Our MO was never score first. Our MO was always run the ball, play defense, and, score at will, Like, look how many great offensive coordinators we had over the years. We never had a great offensive coordinator. We always had a great defensive coordinator, but never a great offensive coordinator. And if you want to throw Ben McAdoo and Brian Dable in there, so be it. But those two haven't really shown anything outside of Brian Dable. No, outside of that 2016 season where Eli Manning had his best year. He doubled down on his interceptions from 29 to I think 15. But Brian Dable hasn't really put a whole season together to say, okay, this is what I have and this is what I have to offer. Knowing that the quarterbacks that he had to play for, he went from Josh Allen to obviously who he went with, obviously. He had to play with Daniel Jones and Tommy DeVito and Drew Lock, but those are not, quarterbacks that you want to, reveal your playbook to. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that they were playing vanilla playbook. I think Brian Dable wasn't really showing his playbook. Because if he was, then you would have saw a different tune, just like how that game against the Arizona Cardinals, we were down 21 points at halftime, and then we came back and then tied it up and actually won the game, But I think he just did that because he needed to save his job, because I believe we were 0-2 at the time. I think the Cardinals were 1-2 and we were 0-2, so we had to lose that. We had to win that game. So, but yeah, I just don't see the Giants making any noise this year. The Eagles gotten better. Obviously, the Commanders have gotten better. The Cowboys have been quiet. but they still have Dak who can win you 9, 10 games every single year. So at the end of the day, what do we have to hang our hat on? Malik Neighbors? Come on, man. Child, please. Anyways, man, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how far will the Giants go this year. Will they remain where they are? Will they improve? I don't have them making the playoffs, but I do have them being significantly better on defense. I think they'll somewhat struggle on offense again, but they'll probably be decent enough on defense. But yeah, like, we're gonna be in games this year. It's not gonna be like last year where we wasn't in games, but we shot ourselves in the foot. I think this year we're gonna be in a lot of close games, coming down to the wire type stuff, just like 2016 all over again. But let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe.